Repair Clinic makes fixing things easy, with millions of replacement parts available on our website and the help you need to do the repair yourself. Since we encourage you to perform this procedure safely, a warning icon will appear when you should use caution. Before you begin the refrigerator installation, confirm that the appliance will be located in a well-ventilated area with temperatures above 55 degrees Fahrenheit and below 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Allow for at least 1 inch of space behind the refrigerator and at least a ½ inch of space at the top. You will need at least 3 3/4 inches of space on the sides to allow the top doors to open. The electrical supply for the appliance must be 115 volts at 60 Hz. A dedicated circuit is recommended. A cold water supply with water pressure between 35 and 120 pounds per square inch is required to operate the ice maker and water dispenser. Depending on the width of the doorway, you may need to remove the appliance doors and drawers to move the refrigerator into the home. With the power cord unplugged, use a Phillips head screwdriver to unthread the screw to release the top right door hinge cover. Using a T25 Torx bit, unthread the front and rear screws securing the top right hinge to the appliance. Do not unthread the 2 side locator screws. Now open the door so it's at a 90-degree angle to the cabinet and have an assistant help you to lift the door off of the bottom hinge pin. When removing the top left refrigerator door, you will need to disconnect the water dispenser tubing and wire connector covering the hinge. Pull up on the clasps to disconnect the dispenser tubing and depress the catch to disconnect the wire connector. Leave the green grounding wire attached to the hinge. Now unthread the front and rear screws securing the hinge, leaving the side locator screws intact. With the door open to a 90-degree angle, lift it off of the bottom hinge pin. Next, fully open the right drawer and lift out the interior bin. Push up on the levers located on the bottom of both drawer glide brackets to release the drawer front from the brackets, and slide the glides back into the refrigerator. After you remove the interior bin in the left drawer, you will need to detach the wire connection cover. Next, use a small flathead screwdriver to help disconnect the temperature control wire connector. You can now release the drawer front from the drawer glide brackets and fully remove it. To release the freezer drawer front, fully open the drawer and use a 1/4 inch socket or nut driver to partially unthread the 2 top screws, securing the drawer front to the glides. Lift the drawer front up to detach it from the glides, and slide the glides back into the freezer. If necessary, you can use a T25 Torx bit to unthread the screws to remove the bottom door hinges, and a 3/8 inch nut driver to unthread the screws, securing the roller and brake feet brackets. With the freezer drawer glides fully extended, you can reinstall the freezer drawer front by aligning the plastic studs and the mounting screws with the bracket slots. Tighten the 2 screws to secure. When replacing a refrigerator drawer, push up on the lever at the bottom of the glide bracket to open. Insert the drawer front bracket into the glide bracket and release the lever to lock the drawer front in place. Repeat for the opposite side. Reconnect the temperature control wire connector on the left drawer and replace the cover. reposition the drawer bins, making sure the ridged end faces the rear. If a refrigerator door was not at a 90-degree angle when removed, the closer spring inside the door may have become misaligned. You will need to reset the spring before the door can be reinstalled. To accomplish this, unthread the screws to remove the appropriate bottom hinge from the frame. With the hinge base parallel with the bottom of the door, insert the hinge pin and bushing into the hole. Now rotate the hinge so the base is at a 90-degree angle to the bottom of the door to reset the spring. Remove the hinge and reattach it to the frame. You can now reinstall the refrigerator doors by aligning them on the bottom hinge pins at a 90-degree angle to the front of the cabinet. Close the doors, then realign the top hinges. Thread and tighten the screws to secure the hinges. Reconnect the water dispenser tubing and the wire connector above the left hinge. Realign the hinge covers and secure them with the screws. The refrigerator doors and drawers are adjustable. If the two doors appear uneven, open the right drawer and fully insert the short end of the 1/8 inch hex key into the bottom hinge pin. Rotate the hex key to the right to raise the door, or to the left to lower the door until both doors are aligned. Each drawer can be adjusted up or down and side to side. With the bin removed, use a Phillips head screwdriver to partially unthread the top glide bracket screw to loosen the drawer front. When adjusting the left side, rotate the lower bracket screw clockwise to raise the drawer front, or counterclockwise to lower the drawer front. The opposite will be true when raising or lowering the right side of the drawer front. Once adjusted, tighten the top glide bracket screw. To adjust the drawer fronts from side to side, press and hold the glide bracket release lever up. Then reposition the clip on the bracket. Confirm the bracket is level and release the lever to lock the bracket into position. Repeat the procedure to align the opposite side of the drawer front, making sure the second drawer clip is in the same position in the bracket as the first. Replace the bins. Close the drawers, and confirm that the drawers and doors appear even. Install each refrigerator door handle by positioning it on the mounting studs so the set screws face the adjacent door. With the opposite door open, firmly hold the handle so the base remains flush with the door. Now insert the short end of the hex key into the upper hole and rotate the set screw clockwise until it begins to contact the mounting stud. Engage the lower set screw in the same fashion. Now fully tighten both set screws. When installing the refrigerator and freezer drawer handles, align the handles on the mounting studs with the set screws facing downward. Tighten the set screws the same way you did with the door handles. If a water supply line and shutoff valve are not already available in the home, you will need to install them. With the cold water supply shut off, use a 1/4 inch drill bit to drill an access hole through the front of the nearest cold water supply pipe. File down any rough edges. Now thread the shutoff valve into the front pipe bracket and tighten by hand. Use a wrench to turn the valve an additional 1/8 turn to fully secure. Slide the rubber seal gasket over the shutoff valve's pilot tube. Insert the pilot tube into the hole in the water pipe. Position the rear pipe bracket, then insert the screws through the brackets and thread on the mounting nuts. Avoid over-tightening the nuts. After ensuring the end of the copper tubing is cut evenly and cleanly, slide on a compression nut and a compression sleeve. Now fully insert the tubing into the outlet connector on the shutoff valve. Thread and hand tighten the compression nut. Use a wrench to tighten the nut one additional turn. Make sure the opposite end of the tubing is cut evenly and cleanly. With the cold water supply turned on, rotate the T-handle on the shutoff valve counterclockwise to fully open and flush out the copper tubing. After a few seconds, shut off the valve and clear the tubing of water. Slide a strain relief clamp over the copper tubing. Now slide on the compression nut and the compression sleeve. Remove the protective cap from the inlet fitting on the water inlet valve. Now fully insert the tubing into the fitting. Thread and hand tighten the compression nut. Then use a wrench to tighten the nut one additional turn. Open the shutoff valve again and check both the shutoff valve and the water inlet valve for leakage. If any leaks appear, you can tighten the compression nut in small increments until the leakage stops. You can use the same screws securing the plastic water tubing retainer to secure the copper tubing strain relief clamp to the rear panel. The excess copper tubing should be looped, allowing it to easily fold and unfold so the refrigerator can be moved without straining the connections. Open the freezer drawer and pull the base grill forward to remove. Use a 1/4-inch socket or nut driver to rotate the brake feet counterclockwise to raise them. You can now move the refrigerator to its final location. Rotate the brake feet clockwise until both are in contact with the floor. To allow the doors to close more easily, or to prevent them from popping open, you can raise the front of the appliance by extending both brake feet equally. Confirm the refrigerator is steady, then replace the base grill by aligning the ends of the grill with the leveling assemblies and snapping the grill into place. Plug the refrigerator power cord into the electrical outlet, and the refrigerator should be ready for use. At Repair Clinic, we make fixing things easy. Thank you for supporting the production of these videos by purchasing your parts from our website.